Together they will defend the Eternia crystals against those who would seek to resurrect the ancient evils.
What's up guys, this is K9 Unit.
And this is airken.
And this is Trees.
And today we're here to review Dungeon Defenders. And Dungeon Defenders is a action RPG tower defense game. It's developed by Trendy Entertainment. It's their first game, and it did very well in the commercial market. And
Yay.
and it's you can play single player, but it is made mainly for multiplayer co-op for up to 4 players. It was released in October 19th, 2011 through Steam, but now it is available through Xbox Live, PSN, and the aforementioned Steam. So guys, what was your first impression?
Well, my first impression was when I looked at the trailer. It looks really fun, and because it's two of my favorite.
Was it
fun? It was. In the beginning, it was fun. It combined two of my favorite genres, like action RPG and tower defense. So I was like, how can this go wrong?
Sounds like an iPhone game.
Yeah. But it was, so at first I got really into it and I played for quite a long time. And so just trying different, all the classes pretty much. Yeah, so it was pretty fun.
I had a different, viewpoint like this. I think it was okay, but it doesn't have anything that wowed me that much. I guess that was my first impression. And then eventually, there's too much loot, I think. I'm not a loot person.
I love loot.
Loot is awesome.
There's too much loot.
So many loot.
It's all over the ground. It's so messy.
Get all the loot.
Get all loot.
There's and yeah, I guess we'll talk about that later, right? The character model stuff. But yeah, my first impression was actually just it's okay. It's fun, multiplayer wise. Single player, it's interesting. It has a very cool mechanic where you're supposed to have a build phase and also fighting combat phase. And then in the build phase, you just build your own thing. You build your defenses to defend against these orcs and goblins. And then when you get to the combat phase, you just kind of use your hero and run around the place and repair stuff and also whack a whole bunch of orcs and goblins. And I think the idea is very new, and it's certainly a bit different than your standard tower defense / hack and slash game. So yeah.
But it is pretty hack and slash.
Yeah, there's not a lot of moves you can do. Just hack and slash.
Two moves.
Basically.
2 moves.
Yeah, it says hack and slash. That's the 2 moves.
No, my guy can spin.
Oh yeah, okay, fine.
My guy
Spin, hack, and slash.
My guy just shoot.
So, what did you think about it, Keenan?
Well, it's pretty similar to Trees actually, because I played this game longer than these two have. Because someone gave it to me as a gift before.
Which 2?
You know
That's 2.
which 2.
Oh, me?
And I played maybe 2 hours the first game, and I remember just being like, this isn't really special. I'm kind of bored. And
no, you got into the elite team to play though.
Yeah, but I played it, and then it wasn't that interesting, and I just stopped playing it, and then these 2 guys bought it, and we just ended up playing it again, and I don't know, the experience was slightly different when I started playing with these 2, because I guess we were just messing about more and not really caring, and it just made it...
I cared.
Okay, thanks. And it just made it a little bit more fun. I wouldn't say this was I didn't have that wow factor either like Trees did.
But
I guess
I cared.
The people you play with determines how good the game was, I guess.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the story?
Well, I'm gonna do this in an epic voice.
Show us your epic voice.
Gentlemen, please listen to this wonderful story of Dungeon Defenders. Once upon a time, there was a faraway land. It's closer than you think. Old warriors locked away the bad guys, known as the Old Ones, into Eternia crystals. They went away to a faraway land for a crusade and left their pupils/children behind. The pupils got bored and knocked over one of the crystals. Somehow, it attracts a whole bunch of orcs and goblins, and it started attacking the castle, and then, yeah, so you kind of have to defend it.
What happened at the
I got tired of talking in that voice.
Right.
So anyways, the crystals, they got knocked over, so it kind of like attracts a whole bunch of orcs and goblins to come and attack the castles, and basically the pupils are the ones who need to defend the castle from the orcs and goblins to release the old ones.
The old
ones. So that's pretty much the game story.
So what classes did you guys play?
Well, I played the Apprentice, which is basically a mage, I guess you would call him mage. And
It's a goblin.
No, it's not. And then
You can't see his face. It's a goblin.
No, it's not.
see
The
his
goblins
mouth. It's
are
not
the
a
ones
goblin.
attacking. Okay, anyways, so
Ninja
the thing is, I spec'd him to be tower heavy apprentice. So like my attacks were pretty weak, but so the apprentice has two special abilities. One is to kind of repair towers faster, and the other one is called the mana bomb, which drops all your mana and deals a heck of a lot of damage. And so he just basically is a ranged class, and he just shoots balls of whatever, fire or whatever. And yeah, so it gets kind of boring because you're just standing in one place and just shooting guys coming out of the entrance.
You should ask K9 about
Oh my god, you don't know. You don't know how boring it was for me. Yeah, so I played Huntress, like Tree said here, and the two special abilities you have is one's called a piercing arrow. It's kind of like a half AoE, just single shot that does a lot of damage. And the other skill is invisibility, which drains your mana but you can be invisible and you just run away and stuff. Pretty simple like that. And it was really boring being a Huntress because you just hold down your mouse button and you aim pretty much. But then there's also reload time, and you need to reload your crossbows and your guns or whatever you're using, and it was just bad. I think the reload was at least 2 to 3 seconds, unless you get some really OP weapon with good stats for it.
I think in real life it'll take even longer to
Yeah,
reload
okay.
your crossbow.
Yeah, but this is a game. You don't want to stand there and have waves of enemies running at you when you can't shoot them, right? And then yeah.
Well, you were going for the DPS build as well.
Yeah,
right?
I went for a PvE build. PvE build, and it wasn't because I knew everybody was gonna go trap build, so I wanted to try something different. And while I did kill very quickly, and I would always be, I think, number 1 in the score, number 2.
Yeah, number 1.
Because you get a lot from killing.
I'm always number 3 as usual.
But yeah, it was fairly boring. I would suggest you do a trap build because it'll be more, I don't know, you feel more
Run
into the
around
game.
more,
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. I play the Squire. The first, it's basically your normal melee, armor knights in a shining armor on a horse.
Except with the
Now
without
the horse is a bunch of diamonds. No, I'm kidding. So the first thing I noticed about the Squire is that he doesn't have any pants. I thought that was ridiculous. I'm like, how? Why? You can't charge into battle with a pair of underwear. But I thought that was a nice touch. That was it expressed the humor of the game. I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, I was thinking about it the whole game. And the entire time I was playing the game, I was like, why can't I have any pants? Why can't I have any pants? But anyways, other than that, the Squire is, I think it's decent to play. It's your general actual hack and slash class. And I was building more of like a defense build, like a turret defense build. So my towers are actually a lot stronger, and they actually do quite a lot of damage. And they actually, because of the Squire, as a class, their towers are a bit stronger than the other classes. I tend to feel more useful than the other two guys.
Whatever.
Whatever.
My towers
Get
are-
out here.
I am more useful because I am the one who blocks off all the mobs with all my blockade traps. Is it blockade trap? No.
Yeah.
Bouncer blockade.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
bouncer
bouncing
blockade. And like they're pretty useful. Like I found my class to be pretty decent to play, and it's enjoyable. You can go up to your foes and then go hack and slash. You can also like build your defenses and feel good about it. But unfortunately, I was never coming up on top for any scores.
Because we own too
on these
much.
scoreboards because of K9's DPS build. And they're
my
boring.
towers
Yeah, the
killed
towers.
everything.
Yeah, but you do feel important as a defender. So if you like playing support, I would play the Squire. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a fourth class. I think it's called a monk.
I played a bit of the monk, yeah. It was
Yeah,
like a hack
It
and
looks like Aang from Avatar.
Well, basically, he's like another melee character, and he has, instead of towers, he builds these auras, and it's pretty good
Auras.
support, yeah. I mean, some of the auras can slow, like, the enemies down, or can heal players, like, yeah, they're pretty good. So, but we built our characters according to what each of us
Like to
built.
play,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also what made it more well-rounded. So
So
when you
there's
play online, I mean, you could have 4 DPS players, and then yeah, so it's like a
that's
mixed
not
bag.
good.
But we kind of like harmonized our team.
we did.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
we all have a different
worked
build.
out. It worked out.
Where were you?
There was actually more classes from the different DLCs. I think they just recently released the Jester class as well. So there's a whole bunch of other different ones you can get from DLC. But the ones we talked about are actually just the core classes.
Yeah.
And the other classes are kind of like based on the core classes too from one of the DLCs. And then yeah, it's kind of complicated. So we just decided to stick with the core classes.
Yeah.
And we're cheap. Gameplay. Go.
Okay. Well, there's 2 phases in the game. There's the build phase and the combat phase. So in the build phase, it tells you which direction the mobs are coming from, and you have to protect the Eternia crystals. So basically, you just have to build towers or traps between where they come in and the Eternia crystals. And so each class has their own different traps, and so you and your team decide which one is the best trap to put where, because there's only a limited number of traps you're allowed to put down in each level.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be pretty strict.
Yeah.
Especially when you use trees here.
What?
Your traps
What?
waste so much points.
What? Like, because it's durable. It's
Yeah,
worth the
but
points.
They don't damage the mob that bad.
It's
compared to
worth the
mines.
points.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Slice and dice trap. Mwah.
And so the next phase is the combat phase. So once everyone's finished, then the
Well,
mobs will come out.
Finish within a
Yo,
time
somebody
limit.
always click ready before I can finish.
That's
me,
K9,
that's
because he
me.
doesn't have to build anything.
I just click it.
So once you press ready, the other people have like a timer that they have to
Right.
finish building.
30 seconds or so.
So you can
It
completely...
reduces by the number of people who
Yeah,
say ready.
so you can completely troll your team by pressing ready at like the first second of the build phase.
And then, so the next wave comes, and then they try to go to the Eternia crystals. So it just comes waves after wave, and depending on which level, there's different number of waves. And sometimes in some levels, there's boss levels where big giant boss with lots of HP will come and totally destroy
Yeah,
you.
and sometimes there's
Yeah.
4 of them.
And so yeah, sometimes there's more than one of them.
It's sad to see your defenses getting ripped apart.
All that hard work.
And I find like the game is pretty easy until you get to the boss, and the boss is just like make or break your whole level. And it's just,
Yeah, if you can't stop the boss, you're screwed.
yeah, and it's usually the boss that screws us over. But then if we choose an easier difficulty, it's like too easy. So it's like the
Yeah.
difficulty jump is quite high.
Yeah, it is. And the loot that you get when you're in a higher difficulty is pretty ridiculous too.
There's too much loot, seriously. Too much.
Stop complaining about the loot.
We love the loot.
Like,
You're the only one who doesn't.
if you get like
2 against
50
1.
swords, you have to sell like 49 of them.
There's a sell all button. You
Yeah,
know
but-
that, right?
You have to sell 48 of them. Like, there's too much loot. Like, I get a headache when I see like this whole bunch of loot. I'm like, oh, I have to walk all the way there to pick it up. No, there should be like the pets should pick it up.
Oh yeah, the pets. That's that's another thing that's pretty cool. Each person can have their own pet that they buy at the store, and we
We were
have
lucky.
the-
We had, because we played TF2, they gave us TF2 pets and they were pretty sick.
TF2 means Team Fortress 2.
Oh my goodness. People
Just
would
for
know.
people who don't.
Yeah. Just a case. So yeah, we had like pretty OP pets from the beginning, pretty much.
OP means overpowered.
Okay, thanks, Trees. Moving on.
So in these type of games, like the level designs are very important because where the mobs comes in and like where you put the turrets. I thought like in terms of for their first game, like the levels designs are very well done. Like there are different paths where they come in. I guess at some point
It
like
was
there's like
very diverse. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way. All the levels are different. They
Very
all have
different.
different theme. Yeah.
different mobs
Yeah.
Well, different combination of mobs.
combination. Yeah.
And a lot there's the levels. A lot of them have like no real cutoff area where you could funnel mobs in.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
kinda
very
have to
challenging.
Create it yourself.
Yeah, so it's pretty good designs and they vary so much, and so it was good.
Yeah, and they look good,
Yeah.
which was a big factor for me because then I would just get even more bored if they were all dull.
It feels like it's very fluent. You don't really see mobs get stuck at a corner. But I guess they have predetermined paths. Or they choose the shortest path to
Yeah.
get there.
Because you could block them off.
Yeah, you can block them off with your towers. But yeah.
So how did the game look to you guys?
Well, I thought it was pretty. It looked cartoony. It was cartoony.
Well, can it be not cartoony?
Yeah, it could look realistic, but it's very cartoony and like it was pretty nice. It wasn't that graphics intensive, and back then I had a really crappy computer, and I could still run it fine with no. I wouldn't say no lag, but like when there's lots of mobs, like kind of lags a little. But it could just be internet issues also.
I can run in very low-end computers, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's like I think if you have a computer, you should be able to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks good. Suppose that. Music and sound effects. What did you guys think about it?
Like I was too busy killing stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really notice until the bosses came. It's like they play this scary, like war. Was it like a war horn sound? Like, and recess, recess. No, it's like, oh crap, the boss is coming, and you're like practically running around trying to find the boss. Yeah, I think I didn't really realize the music in the background because everything was so crazy.
In general, it's just like heroic fantasy-like music. There's really nothing to say about it. It's what you expect for a game in this genre.
So it did its job, pretty much.
Yeah, it fit the gameplay.
I think the only time I really noticed the sound was when we won.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
it had
it
the
fits.
victory music.
Victory music.
Yeah.
Victory music.
And the sound effects. Sound effects were very good though.
Yeah, they were
Although,
good.
because when it gets chaotic, everything just kind of gets
Mashes
jumbled
together.
up. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
just noise.
And lots of
But like, would you expect something else when?
I think
well,
I
because there's so
expected-
much going on.
I
that's
think
how
I
it
expected
sounds
a little bit
right?
like distinct tones, sound effects for like certain weapons and stuff. So so guys using something crazy good, then just by hearing it, you can
Sounds
see
like
it.
something crazy good.
like an
Yeah,
epic-
exactly. But then
sound.
we don't really have that. But that's
You
just
sir demands too much.
yeah. I'm just nitpicking here. But yeah, the sound was good.
Yeah, sound was good.
So what are your final verdicts?
Oh, so I think like I don't know. In the beginning, I thought like I said this game is meh, but like after looking at some of the clips, I guess I did have fun. So yeah, like just looking at all the clips we did, I did have some fun while playing with you guys. It was interesting and like it's challenging, but I guess if you're playing single player, it would get boring. Just like shoot many robots. But playing with your friends does guarantee some good fun, and you're basically have good time working together and trying to build some defenses and fight goblins.
Yeah, so I agree with Rex. Like playing by yourself is no fun, and I think it's pretty impossible because you only have one type of tower, and
it's possible.
Or even playing online.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
I heard online is pretty chaotic.
Yeah, because everyone steals everyone's gems and stuff.
Yay, go team.
But when we played together, we really worked together as a team because each one of us was essential to the team. So in that way, we had a lot of fun because we really had to coordinate our efforts.
Yeah, so I think I've had the most game time out of all these two, and I like this game, but I just didn't like it enough for me to keep playing. And while we did have fun, as you can tell, but you know, I don't know, it's just missing that one factor that just keeps me wanting to go back. And don't get me wrong, it's a very good game, especially for, you know, their first game. But yeah, it's just missing that special something.
So if you can sum this game up in one sentence, what would you say?
Play with your friends. Just like shoot many robots. Yeah, I think the company makes the game. If you don't, I mean, because Steam has some bundle packages, so you could buy 2 or 4, and you could just play with your friends. Yeah, it's perfect co-op game.
That was a really long sentence.
Hey man, compound sentences. It
You're
shows
fired.
an intelligent person.
You're fired. Oh yeah, for me it'll be don't play DPS Huntress because you'll be so bored unless you want to own. But yeah, you won't have fun.
I guess for me is if you want pants, don't play the Squire. No, I mean like this game is really fun. I would play it with friends, and I think it's a very high replay value. As long as you want to beat all the levels in super hard mode, and you're one of those achievement hunter type of people.
Yeah.
And
And you could play all 4 classes because they're all pretty different.
yeah. And the mock looks like Aang from Avatar. So, if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button below this video. Or, if you would like to subscribe, you can click that too. Now I shall go get some tea. Bye.
Bye!